The Secretary of War, Peter Hegseth, authorized the pilots of the Southern Command to begin specific training aimed at combating the cartels. This decision marks a new stage in military preparation involving everything from fighter jets to transport aircraft, surveillance planes, helicopters, and drones. The goal is to create a multi-role air force capable of operating in different scenarios and responding quickly and precisely to the threats posed by the cartels spreading throughout the region. The training is not limited to aerial maneuvers. The pilots are also subjected to survival exercises in case of ejection, learning how to deal with hostile environments, dense jungles, and hard-to-reach areas. This preparation shows that the Shield of the Americas will advance even further, as operations against the cartels operating throughout the Americas are in full swing. But is this pilot training also taking into account the fight against Brazilian criminal factions? Welcome to Vida no Cartel. Combat missions against criminal factions by the armed forces present a distinct complexity which requires specific adaptation. This is not a conventional war between nations, but rather operations directed against organized criminal groups. Although these groups are well armed and organized, their military power and logistical capacity are far below what any national armed force can mobilize. That's why pilot training goes beyond the simple ability to fly. Each one needs to master secure communication protocols, coordinate precisely with ground troops, and use advanced monitoring and intelligence technologies. This integration is essential to ensure that operations are fast, effective, and minimize risks for the forces involved. Among the aircraft used by Southern Command, air superiority fighters stand out, such as the F-22 Raptor, the F-15 Eagle, and the F-35 Lightning II, which are capable of neutralizing threats even while flying at high speeds. Attack helicopters, on the other hand, are ideal for incursions in urban or forested areas, as they can perform low-altitude maneuvers, approach targets with precision, and provide direct air support to ground troops. In this pilot training scenario, it's also necessary to consider drone pilots, as drones have become one of the most widely used pieces of equipment in modern conflicts, playing a crucial role in both reconnaissance and surgical strikes. In addition, transport and surveillance aircraft require pilots to have highly specific skills. Transport aircraft need to ensure the movement of troops and equipment even under attack, maintaining stability and precision during landings and takeoffs in hostile and often improvised areas. Surveillance aircraft, on the other hand, require expertise to evade enemy radars by using alternative routes, low-altitude flights, and electronic countermeasure systems that make detection more difficult. The advance of the Shield of the Americas has undermined criminal networks in several countries, and this training could be the prelude to more direct actions against the cartels. Paraguay and Ecuador have already shown support by carrying out seizures, blowing up structures linked to trafficking, and mobilizing thousands of military personnel in joint operations. This regional alignment strengthens international cooperation and increases the ability to respond to transnational criminal organizations. However, Brazil remains outside the shield of the Americas, which raises concerns among military analysts. Brazil's absence from this collective effort is seen as a vulnerable point, especially because the current government has refused to classify domestic criminal factions as narco-terrorists.
Terroristas.
This decision may limit international cooperation and leave the country exposed to increased violence and the arrival of criminals from other countries. The impact of this stance by the current Brazilian president is significant because while neighboring countries advance in coordinated operations, Brazil runs the risk of becoming a refuge or alternative route for cartels seeking to escape regional repression. This could increase instability and make it harder for state police forces to fight organized crime. The new training adopted by the Southern Command focusing on cartels shows that Donald Trump's government is determined to undermine the structures of organized crime once and for all. The American presence in South America has intensified, with FBI and CIA offices being opened in strategic locations to expand information gathering. In this context, aircraft carriers play a central role as they function as mobile power projection platforms capable of launching dozens of aircraft on simultaneous missions against targets on land and at sea. The routine of the pilots aboard these giants of the seas is marked by discipline and technical demands. Pilots must constantly practice landings and takeoffs on a platform that is never still, dealing with wave motion, ocean winds, night operations, and adverse conditions such as heavy rain and lightning. Each squadron has specific missions, from aerial patrols to precision strikes, and relies on the indispensable support of mechanics and logistics teams who ensure the full operational capability of the aircraft. This combination of expertise, resilience, and coordination makes the Southern Command a force capable of redefining the fight against cartels in the region, where Brazilian factions can also become targets of these actions. Now let's enjoy some maneuvers by the pilots of the Southern Command. Here on Vida No Cartel, you stay up to date with everything happening in the military world. Leave a like, subscribe, and watch one of the videos appearing on your screen. Music. Forward fighters, see you next time. Music.